Hey guys, this is Maria, and today I'll be talking with
Thanks for having me on your show. It's an honor. So the idea of ModulusTech came about in 2016 during the Syrian refugee crisis. It was horrifying for all of us to see how so many people were displaced in a very short span of time. And what we noticed was that the biggest challenge was housing, in fact, because all these people, they were left to live in shelters without adequate living conditions. And we thought, what if there was a house that could be set up within a day, it's low cost, and provides them with dignified living. So that's how the idea started. I was still in college studying. So a couple of friends and we came up with this idea of a flat packed housing technology that we created. So we made the first prototype with our own hands. It was successful, and we were able to set up a house in 3 hours. So I had never thought that I'd be doing a startup of my own, but we created this product that had so much potential for social impact, for environmental impact, that we decided we must carry on. So I think it was the social impact and the perseverance that brings and the motivation that brought for us that kept us going.
what is your secret sauce to discipline every day?
For me, it is difficult because I don't really have a boss. But I have certain targets that I have to meet every day. Having a team under me now, like a bigger team as we're growing, it adds more responsibility, and I feel I have to set the right example for them.
Tell me about the best piece of advice that you've ever gotten.
One of our mentors, he said, you're thinking like an engineer all the time, and you don't really focus on what the customers really want. So you're building something that you envision to be a great product, but then have you asked your customers if they really want it or not? So that stepped us back quite a bit. And in terms of product development, it just changed the way we thought about creating products entirely. So then we started like talking to customers and asking them, would you actually buy a product that does all of these things? Because firstly, as engineers, success for us was meeting project deadlines and project costs. But we realized that success should be what customers really want. So that was a useful advice for us.
And if you could speak to an audience of young people right now and just share some piece of advice from you about how to make their ideas a reality, what would you say to them?
I've met a lot of entrepreneurs, especially being part of an ecosystem in Pakistan, knowing a lot of new startups coming in, and mostly they're young people. And I always ask them this one question. What are you going to do if nothing really happens with your startup in the next 2 years or 3 years? And the reason I ask them this is because it takes a lot of perseverance and patience to build a company and grow a company. People think entrepreneurs are like the new rock stars and it's going to be all fun and we're going to get really famous. But it's not all that. It's a lot of things that you have to do that are very boring and take a lot of hard work.
Okay, speaking about hard work, I would like to move on to a section which I called It Wasn't a Piece of Cake. What was the difficult part of this journey?
There's a new challenge at every stage along the way when you're doing a startup. Initially, it was the product stage where we didn't have the funding. That was a real challenge because we wanted to create a product. We had a prototype, but we had no sales. And in order to have sales, we needed to set up manufacturing for this product. So it was a bit of a chicken or the egg kind of problem, where we went to investors and they wanted to see our sales, whereas um, to have sales, we needed money. So that was a big challenge that we faced.
While doing something, that is really about helping people out and social impact and financial sustainability. These are hard to juggle. How did you juggle these?
So for us, because we still are a very mission-driven startup, so making money isn't the point of our startup in the first day, right? So that's not a priority. The priority is to create impact first, and then we are a for-profit for the reason so that we can create more impact, right? So we're more profitable. We can have more resources to create larger impact around the world.
What is essentially something you're looking forward to, like a dream of yours right now for the future?
My dream is to set up communities, smart communities that run completely sustainably on their own, off-grid and autonomously. And we've created and we keep developing products and doing innovation in that sector.
If there is something you do every day, like a habit or a mindset you adopt every day, what is it?
Yeah. I try to read a couple of pages from any book before I sleep. Um, and I particularly like this habit because it makes me think about new things and have more insights. And it could be like any kind of book, but mostly it's nonfiction.
Share with us your favorite thus far.
So I really like this book by Ben Horowitz. It's called The Hard Thing About Hard Things because it talks to you about how difficult it really is to succeed in a startup.
Do you think that you are happy with what you're doing, or are you do you still have moments of self-doubt if this is your journey, if this is your passion?
That's a really good question. And to be honest, it's a little bit of both. There are phases when I'm actually happy that, all right, we've accomplished something. And then phases where I'm like, okay, we need to accomplish more things and do it faster and better. Uh, Maybe we set really high standards for ourselves, but yeah, it's a little bit of both, to be honest. And we've been lucky, we've got enough recognition as well. But then there are phases where you just feel like it needs to go faster.
And if you can come up with a question for the next person I will interview, and I'll ask that question, what would you want to ask another social entrepreneur from around the world?
I would ask them one of the questions you asked me that what keeps them going.
Well, thank you so much. This has been a pleasure to learn from you today. And I hope that you really help as many people as possible with your social enterprise.
Thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure. Likewise. Thank you.